All right, we're back. The Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast, episode number 23. This week, it was Tyler's pick, and he spent a lot of time
I did a
researching
lot of
which
research.
which movie would be his, and he selected The Dark Tapes from 2017. It's a anthology type movie. Different. There's like one story intertwining with all the other ones, but it's just like different stories and stuff.
It's an
It's
intertwined. I think it's more like a
there's like one base
short
story,
story. Yeah.
and then like yeah, it's a if you ever seen Creep Show or Trick or Treat, because for some reason
Yeah.
it's not just Trick or Treat, whatever. But anyway, Tyler, what you gonna score your pick for this week?
I'm gonna give it a couple things about this film
Okay,
before we start.
okay.
Wait, you gotta answer his fucking question first.
What is-
I'm gonna explain my answer.
Just say your fucking shit,
Also-
then I'll do my fucking shit, and then you
also-
explain.
Also, we've been talking so long. I brought one beer. It's empty. My beer's gone. Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is it was super low budget, guy's first film.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna judge this the same way I would judge.
Oh no, I'm judging.
That's fine. That's fine. You do you. That's fine. But I'm gonna judge this off of a guy who's about to make a movie. So I'm gonna give this a 6.
Jesus.
All right, I'm giving this movie a 2 just for the first tape alone. The rest of this movie could burn in a trash fire.
I'm in the same boat. It was interesting, but yeah, it was trash.
So
You guys are fucking crazy. I'm gonna point out so much shit in this movie
Mm-mm.
that's
I
gonna
look
make
forward to
it
you
go
talking.
above your 2.
Nope.
That you're gonna you're gonna rechange.
Nope.
Your opinion.
Not gonna happen.
Tyler's gonna have like a whiteboard with a bunch of arrows and
He's
shit
gonna
on it.
be
Like,
doing the
this
Always Sunny.
tied
Like,
into this, and then this, and then that, and then
All right.
that happened. So this happened. I'll be like,
Spoiler
oh, shit.
warnings. Spoiler warnings.
Hey, spoiler warning.
Hey, spoiler warning. So let's try to go through this. We're gonna try to go through story by story. We'll try to keep
I
it in
figured
order.
that's how we would
All right.
try to do this.
So this first story is all a ruse, right?
Whoa, that's the big reveal. Spoiler.
What are you talking about?
The first story,
It's all
there's no
ruse.
ghost. It's the people killing
Yeah.
them themselves or whatever.
Threw me off. Didn't see that coming at all.
And I think that was like a statement because like everyone's looking for these scary ghosts and like villainous, demon spirits or whatever. And the thing you have to worry about most is fucking people, right? Like humans or whatnot. And,
Yeah. That first
That's-
one was pretty good. It threw me off, and it threw off the whole
I
fucking
told-
movie because it didn't tie in.
I told
was
Tyler at work, I was like, the first story got me excited for the rest of the movie, and I was like, the rest of the movie. Eh?
It tanked, dude. It tanked.
But anyway,
So the first,
the first
story.
yeah,
All right, go ahead.
first story is about a couple who, the guy was filming at the beginning, but I think he was they were just looking at like a new house or something, and then the guy
they had
randomly.
moved and he had bought a house.
Well,
without telling
the
his
wife, yeah, the wife didn't know about it, and he was like, "Oh, here's the key," or no, he was like, "How do you like your new house?" or something, and she was like, "What, really?" And like jumped up and hugged him and stuff.
House is cool as shit, by the way.
Cool house.
Nice.
And then very quickly, stuff starts to seem wrong. There's footsteps coming from above them, which they say like they don't have an attic. So it would have to be like someone walking on like the roof or the ceiling or something. There's a crazy part where this dude is like, "Hey, honey, come here," and he throws his ball down the hallway and it comes back at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "That's pretty neat, right?" And I was like, "No, that is not neat." I was like, "Get out of there!" Like,
How do
all
you explain that?
No idea.
How was that a trick?
She said After Effects. It's
Yeah,
crazy. You could-
yeah. Somehow, apparently, these people are master editors. Not as good as me though.
Mav's not even a real person. He's a fucking
Yeah, he's been a.
he's just a shrubbery.
He was the greenhouse all along. What? I was like, "What is this? It's a T-shirt." Okay.
It's a T-shirt.
Yeah. Anyway, so then, also the best part of this whole like tape thing at the beginning is like they're like chilling out in bed, and then the door fucking slams shut and like locks and
That was
stuff.
pretty good.
And
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I was like, that's pretty neat. And then they call in some ghost hunters to help them out with their problem, and that's where the rest of the story takes place. Yeah, but so there was a weird thing with the ghost hunters, if I can remember it. Real fast too. By the way, there's that part where the lady's home alone, and she's like filming all the knocking or whatever, and then she's like, "I can't take it," and she puts down the camera and goes and sits on the stair, and then like the camera
Yeah.
gets knocked over, and she's like, "Oh." And, like does like the best run
Yeah, it was
I've ever
pissing me
seen.
off. They were all this shit's going on. They know for a fact it's like a ghost. At this point, you're thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Why are they still in this house? I was like, well, leave.
yeah,
Don't stay. And then she's like, that scene where she's sitting on the, she's like, I can't take this anymore. And then sits on the fucking stairs,
yeah,
like by the front door. And I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah.
And then it turns out, yeah, no, it was no ghost
Yeah,
the
so
whole
that's
time. And I was like, I fucking hate you guys.
yeah, so the big well also before that there's part where the guy is setting up all the cameras around the house, and he sets up one in the hallway, and he like sets it up, and then he goes and leans down to like adjust like the base or whatever, and like this little girl is behind him like doing this like
Pretty good, yeah.
like just creepy stance or whatever. And I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. But then they do it again, like afterwards. And I was like, you didn't need it twice. It's like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And so they tell the ghost hunters that their daughter died. Did they say how? Or they just say that she died?
I don't remember.
They didn't go into specifics. They were just like, oh, she died. Truthfully, though, daughter's still alive. She's just part of the ruse. The one ghost hunter goes into the bedroom. So his teammates are missing, his fellow ghost hunters or whatever. Goes into the bathroom, finds the girl ghost hunter with her eyes like chopped out and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the guy ghost hunter was just sort of in the shower, like dead. He didn't look as cool. But the single coolest shot of this whole movie, obviously it takes on a different meaning after you know what's going on. But as he's running away, there's like a single frame of just the little girl standing there, and like just totally just there, and it was
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty
oh,
good.
look at that. And
Did
then,
you see the girl's ripped out eyes were on the other guy's stomach?
No.
Oh, I
didn't
didn't
see
notice that.
Yeah. He was laying there in the tub or the shower, and her eyes are just on his stomach, like looking out. And I was
yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, and then the guy runs into the living room, and this is where the dad knocks
the
him
big
out.
reveal.
Yeah, the big reveal, and then the dad's like, he's like, you fucking ghost hunters, you'll believe anything, you fucking losers. And I was like, oh man, really going in. And he's like, this house had 2 murders. Y'all don't do your research. We gave you so much good stuff to work with, but we just had to do the old dead daughter story or whatever. And yeah, and then they're gonna kill him, but then the daughter comes out and she's like, "Can I do my first?" And he's like, "I'm so proud of you." And they like stab him together, which that dude's head must have been like cracked open or something, because like he gets hit or whatever, and he's laying there, and you can see like he's still looking around, but like he
Yeah.
doesn't move at all when he's getting stabbed. I was like, I could be like, or something.
I thought they drugged him. That's why,
Yeah,
like
I think
when
they,
he woke up.
broke his spinal cord.
It
Bigfoot
must
had,
have, yeah. But
I don't know.
there you go. That's the summary of the first tape. So what else do we want to talk about?
I mean,
about that one?
There's a couple of things, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a message about it. I don't know if you understood what I was saying. But like the tech guy is like setting up the cameras,
Yeah.
and you can see the regular film crew in the background as he's setting up the camera. There's like 3 of them,
Yeah.
and they're just standing around talking and stuff. And you're like, who is this person? This person isn't in the movie.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there looking at him, and you're like, what? It kind of ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was crazy. How are we going to talk about the story that's going on behind the stories? We're just gonna say that for the end.
Yeah, we'll save that for the end, I guess. And we'll
So
set. Yeah, but I remember the part I was thinking about with the ghost hunters. By the way, is they're in the car and the guy's like filming, and the
Yeah.
woman's like, Stop filming me. I don't look good in close ups." And the guy's like, "Oh, I know."
Yeah, he was the best
That shit
part.
was
Yeah,
funny.
he's pretty good.
Are you sure you're not recording us?
I am certain.
I don't look good on a close-up, you know that.
I do know that.
Louder. Your mommy can't hear you.
What is it? What's wrong? Ashton, are you hurt? Is someone...
Yeah. There was one, obviously, low budget
First
and
story
stuff, so you
had me
can't.
spooked.
But there was one part where,
It
as
has
they're still
me,
looking
like,
around, there's a
it's
part
so
where like
scary,
the
don't know what's
little
gonna
girl
happen.
like screams in the hallway or
Nothing
something
really ever did.
when they
It
still
had
think
me-
she's
the
like a
first
ghost.
story,
But it was
was
like
so
it sounded
good 'cause
like
it had me
she
spooked,
filmed it from down the
but
hall.
it was
or
also,
something.
like,
It was a weird
so low budget
that there
scream.
was like laughs in there.
But
That
that's just-
like
I'm
it was
just-
still good.
that's just
But
because
there were
of
parts
budget.
where you could. It was just funny because of how they had to film it. Like
The demon
like the
laugh, which
wife
one
when
I
she
did
gets
that.
dragged into that room and she's getting attacked and David like comes up the stairs. He's like,
Yeah,
Getting,
He was
Yeah.
like, I can't get through.
and I was
That was
like, this is hilarious. Yeah, and yeah, but yeah, that demon what don't they?
They're doing like an EVP, and then they're calling out, and like that's when they find out about the dead daughter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or right after that.
That was as soon as they find out about the dead daughter, the guy's like, "You got to do an EVP with them right now." I was like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, that bitch was like making dinosaur sounds and shit.
Yeah. Well, they said there's two, right? So
Yeah,
Apparently.
at first I thought it was like, because it's the daughter like screaming or making noise, and then it turns into like the demon like roar or laugh or whatever.
yeah.
And I was like, oh man, it's I took it one of two ways. I was like, either it's a demon messing with them, just acting like the kid, or I was like, it's the kid and the demon's like, haha, I got your kid. But then
I think that's
but then it turns out it was like neither one of them. So, which also, how did they do that? Did she like get a hold of that girl's tape before like?
Dude,
Because
I
she
don't
heard
know.
words we didn't hear, right?
Yeah.
She was like, it said this, this, and this, and I'm like, how did she hear?
Well,
what
like
we
we
did?
heard like all the roars and stuff. David just went like and recorded the tape, and he was like, "I'm trapped in hell." The woman's like, "Oh my god!"
Jesus.
Yeah,
I know how to help.
yeah. But
That
Tom,
was about it for the first one.
yeah, but Thomas got hype though in his notes. I see this where I'm like, "Oh man, dude's running away. Girl's got his eyes ripped out." And then Thomas goes, "Oh shit, it was all a fucking ruse."
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't
really
either. Yeah.
See, and you're watching this low budget kind of, I'm not going to call it a crap film, but like a non-mainstream film. And for it to shock me like that or surprise me, that's why it's worth what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
we'll keep going. There's more reasons.
All right. So tape number 2 is, God, what is it called? It's called like anyway, it's basically this girl who has a girlfriend seemingly that sets up for her to have a like a webcam porn show thing.
Yeah.
Cam girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't
she,
go to those sites. So I don't
yeah,
know.
man, yeah. And she gave the one girlfriend who we have hints that she's a bad person, who's a blonde-headed girl. She gives her girlfriend ideas where she's like, it'd be hot if you could get one of them, like, cut themselves or something. And the girl's like, oh, that's weird or whatever. Anyway, this segues into the introduction where it's her and her little webcam, just kind of like what you see, on the podcast
Right
with
now.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And different people like pop up, and one of them's going to get picked for a private show. And goddamn, dude. This was when the movie went to shit for me. When
I
It's
didn't
just
know
'cause-
Thomas made a fucking.
hey, what? You talking about my homie Jerry?
Yeah, that dude was.
You know what?
Top
The
notch.
Jerry
That
guy was
beard.
weird as shit. But the guy who kept talking
That's who I was
was
talking
the
about.
cringiest
Where he was
part,
like,
yeah.
I'm packing and ready for action. Then he was like, I
That
got
was
my
so
lube,
weird.
I got my pretzels.
I'm packing and ready for action. Woo!
Yeah,
Who fucking
I was like-
FaceTimes on that shit? Like, why would you want to show your face to a bunch of fucking other dudes?
It's
Like,
really weird because they're trying to pick the person, and the guy, what's his name, Jerry?
Jerry.
He
It's
starts like fingering his own throat. Yeah,
Yeah, and they were like him, and I was like, yeah, I would have fucking picked this loser too. Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
I saw him doing it, and I was like, what are you doing, Jerry? And then he got picked, and I was like, well, shit, good job,
It
Jerry.
worked, yeah.
I was gonna
You
wipe
had
my
his
finger
strat.
off.
And he was into it, man. He was into it.
Jerry was into it. But yeah, I don't know. Those people that were in that webcam show were clearly like not supposed to be actors. They needed like friends to fill out space.
Yeah.
Um,
But that one chick was hot.
yeah, the one random like girl that was in there.
Yeah.
They were like, "Ooh, we got a woman tonight" or whatever. There was that one part where the one dude, because that packing an action dude keeps talking, and the one guy goes, "Hey, shut up, buddy." Yeah, and so
I like the one guy who's like watching TV instead of paying attention.
yeah,
He's like, hey, who? Ted, focus over here. And he was like,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, I'm here.
yeah,
I thought something was gonna happen off screen with him, but no, he was just fucking ADHD, like not looking at the fucking camera or whatever.
yeah. Oh, I
Anyway.
remember real fast. Just the other packing action. He had another one where he goes, "I'm ready to go Han Solo on Darth Vader's head." And I was like, "All right, man." So anyway, Jerry gets picked for his private show, and then the creepies ensue. Where when it gets to the private show was really when I was like, it's like,
This whole time, the lady's like flashing into it like an undead woman
yeah, they're
and weird stuff. Like, it's.
yeah, it does like flashes of like her and her girlfriend together looking all evil. At one point, you see them eating like intestines or something, and then
Like the meat or
yeah,
whatever.
Jerry even says he's like, "Hey, there's some weird interference," and then
Every time he looks away, it pops up. But
Yeah.
like you could see his screen flash like it's a fucking.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how do you not see that, Jerry? Look up, look up, Jerry, look up.
Well, then it happens because he says it, but then it happens to her, and she sees like I don't remember what she saw. Maybe she's the one that saw them eating intestines or something, and she was
Yeah,
like,
I
"Well,
don't
that
know.
was weird." Yeah, but then she makes him give him a tour of his house at one
Yeah.
point, but it was just like a studio apartment where it was like one room and then like the bedroom.
The bathroom.
Which, first off, hold on, silence. Okay, we're gonna cut that out. That's not gonna make it in the show.
This motherfucker just said silence so he could fart.
He did. How dare you?
Sorry.
You know, his face is gonna be all red for no reason.
What the fuck was that?
Maverick's taking that fart to a whole new level, bro.
Yeah.
He's upstage.
He's farting whistling.
Let's see it.
This dude's farting in a fucking kazoo.
His asshole was like, I'm rootin' tootin' ready. Anyway, silence is over. But hey, yeah, so it makes him do like a house tour. There's one really good part in this where he like shows his room and then flips off the light and there's like nighttime light coming in, like the city lights or whatever.
Yeah.
And you see like the girl run by, and I was like, "Ooh, look at that!"
Or just walk by. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a shadow figure or whatever.
Yeah. And then he comes back to the. Also, it made some crazy ass noise when she went by. But then he like comes back to the couch, and I don't remember if it's like before or after he gets back to the couch, but it looks like those hands from the Grave Encounters that came through the ceiling, but it was like demon hands that like come over the couch and then like
Yeah.
go back down or whatever. And I was like, ooh, spooky demon hands. And yeah, but anyway, so then she does the whole cutting himself, and me at least, I don't know about y'all. But I was watching and being like, oh, she's
You like
gonna
to
want
cut
him to
yourself
like,
too?
yeah, man. I, yeah. There's gonna, I'm like, oh, she's gonna make him cut his arm or something. But no, she's like, hey, go ahead and slit your throat for me so we can be together. And I was like, ooh, this took a, a different
Well,
turn.
he slices his hand first, and then
He does like, he likes it.
Yeah, he's like, I
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah,
that.
he's like, I kind of like it.
I was like, fuck this dude.
Yeah.
Right? This guy,
Yeah.
I don't know. So do you think this, and then he does slice his throat.
He does. Yeah, he slices his throat. He's got the knife like halfway in his throat, but he's still talking. And I was like, "Quiet, Jerry, you're dying. You're dying." And then magically the two girls are there, and the one girl starts talking to like her demon god. And
There's
she's,
like a hot chick and then like an older chick who's pretty attractive still, but
I
you have to like see them to know.
I thought
which
that
one
was
is-
the girlfriends.
What?
I didn't think
It
those
is.
were different ladies. Yeah.
It's the same people, but
Oh, okay.
you just keep saying chick, so it's like who? What? It's a little confusing
You're Confucius.
because you have a blonde chick and a brown chick.
Yeah, that's
Brown chick, brunette.
Yeah, apparently like so the blonde. Okay, so anyway, they got like a demon god, and they're not allowed to feast on human flesh if they kill it. But apparently, it's perfectly all right if that person kills himself and they can feast on it. Which I'm not entirely sure how the blonde comes into this. I think
Yeah,
like
no idea.
she. I don't know, because then the brunette, like she wakes up and she doesn't know anything that happens because there's a previous how the story starts is her talking to an ex-boyfriend who's like a psychiatrist, I want to say.
Just a doctor.
Just a doctor? Okay. And yeah, he's just a doctor because then he's like, apparently they used to be date. Because he's like, I'm going to graduate next year, so if you feel like switching teams again, I'm here. And I was like, all right, guy. Calm down. But yeah, she says she doesn't remember waking up, and she assumes it's just because she's been drinking too much or something. She doesn't remember what she did the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so clearly the blonde is in control of this whole relationship scheme thing going on. But yeah. Tyler, you got some.
This doesn't tie into any other story. Like it's just like,
None of them do.
yeah,
But,
it's
like-
it pissed me off, man.
So like, I think the blonde is like the demon king or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like ever since our creation, I have been waiting in this form or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I think that's supposed to be their version of like a modern technology driven like succubus or siren or
Yeah, I
whatever.
assume they were like succubus
Like,
the whole
Had him
time.
under a spell or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Something. But I also think it's kind of like a current day comment on like, you see it on Twitch a lot, to where you'll have an attractive lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, he, and they'll talk to a guy, and the guy will give them like $100, right? And they're like, thanks, and that's all you get for it or whatever. But like, that dude has to work 30 hours or whatever to make that $100, So it's people literally killing themselves just to talk to pretty women. And I think that's what that was focused on. It was like the guy's weird way of talking about how lonely people literally kill themselves just to talk to pretty people. But Maybe I'm the only one who saw that.
I just want a spin-off movie with Jerry. I don't know what he's gonna be doing, but I want a prequel.
There's a scene where Jerry cuts his neck and he's
Mm-hmm.
laying there dead, and the lady's like rubbing her hands on his hair,
Yeah.
and then she reaches down and it plays this like grisly sound effect, like she's ripping chunks of meat out of him.
Yeah.
And then they lean him back, and he's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There's not like a
His
chunk
neck is
missing
a
or
little
nothing.
open. Yeah, his neck
Yeah,
is a little
yeah. I
open.
was like, what was she ripping? Like, what? What was this?
Yeah.
To be honest, though, that was the weakest story of the whole movie.
You
Like,
think?
It went way too long.
I don't know, man. The next one. Ooh boy.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the next one is the one where I really checked out. So I guess we'll move on to that one now. So that was Cam Girl, whatever it's called. They all had the first one was like the first one was The Hunted and The Hunter. And then the second one was something. So the third one, I'm still not sure. But the third one starts off at a party. And it's like this dude going, what's up?
This is the best one.
Oh no, this is the one I hated the most. It was just
You go.
yeah. And so it starts off at a party. Dude's got like a new camera. He's going around filming people and shit. There's one part that I liked where this like muscle sort of jock dude is like talking about how he banged like the chick that was there or something. And like, you know, he's being like the macho, you know, joking around stuff. And you kind of get the impression that this is like the jerk of the group. But then, like, he's the guy that comes later, and he's like, hey, aren't you here with Jessica or whatever? And you said she doesn't drink more than once or whatever? And the guy's like, yeah.
Chad, dude.
And he's like, oh, she just went in a room with 2 people. And, like, he knew that, like, something was up. And I was like, you know, shout out to this dude, you know, coming through.
Look at you judging this man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right? Fucking asshole.
Guys, I'm learning lessons every day. But anyway, so they go and bust into the room, and there's like 2 dudes hovering over, and they like
One's pulling his dick out.
yeah. Well, she's got like her
one's
clothes
pants
off and
is
stuff.
down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And,
He's completely ready.
Yeah, and they get run out.
Well, they beat the fuck out of him, according
Yeah.
to them. The next
According
day
to
or
them,
whatever.
yeah. Which
yeah,
that I
apparently they
don't
fought them, some shit.
I don't know what that place was
We
they were
sucked
at.
them off good, right, guys? Oh wait, we beat him up.
Yeah. Where it was just like it was like a apartment that looked like a nice apartment, but they only had like one wooden table in this whole
Yeah.
apartment. It was very empty.
This dude's apparently a fucking doctor or some shit.
Well, they talk about that later. He's like,
Yeah,
"When you gonna buy a
yeah.
couch?" And he was like, "I'm moving. I don't need a couch."
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And
But it was time jumping like 6 months, wasn't it?
At least.
yeah, because the video starts off with her giving a monologue where she's like, you know, they've been fucking me up, but not anymore. I figured it out. I'm not gonna be a victim, you know, all that stuff. And so then the one guy is like, we have to film the girl when she wakes up because she might. Yeah, this whole thing. So she comes walking out. She sits down, and she's like, "The things they did to me," and
Like what the fuck you talking about?
and then the one girl like touches her shoulder, and she's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!" And she starts screaming and everything shakes, and I love it because it shakes for like 2 seconds, and then the dude goes, "Oh man, that must have been at least a 6.5." Like.
That must have been at least a 6-point quake.
And so they're convinced they have an earthquake. Goes back to bed. Get this, guys. There was no earthquake. They were the only people that felt that.
Yeah.
And then the girl wakes up later, and she's like, "Oh man, I'm real hungry. I don't remember anything about last night." And so she doesn't remember, you know, anything. And then basically this turns into an alien story, where
No. What do you mean an alien story? What are you talking about?
they're aliens.
No, they're
What-
demons.
They're not
From the-
demons.
From the same thing as the main story that we're not talking about.
Nah, they're aliens. Trust me.
But
Well, now I don't
really
even
weird
like the
part.
story even more. I thought they were aliens.
There's a really weird part here to where like she goes to bed, like when she's catatonic or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't cut or do anything long enough to where it seems like she just immediately turns around and comes right back out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yep.
like, wait, was she what? I was like, did she just wake up? Like, I was so confused.
I
was
don't
like,
know. She goes on these
But-
fucking kickboxing sprees, and she's like, "Look at this, I'm training." And then all this kickboxing I gotta fucking watch, okay? And then this lady sits there for 10 minutes just making a speech that I'm gonna be honest, guys, I totally checked out. I don't know what the fuck she was saying. I was like, I don't care. And then her master plan, because these things fucking fuck up electronic, shit. So she's like, look at this. I got a camera from the 40s. It's all film. Can't fuck it up. And then she's got like an old record player that she can record shit on a
record
wax.
sound on.
You know, right? And so I'm like, okay, let's see where this goes. You get one glimpse of the shit walking in the room and the camera like falls over. And she's like, next time I'll bolt it down, so it can't do it again.
Yeah.
There is no next time, because the next time they fall asleep in this fucking Zoom call, and homeboy, his light clicks on, and so now you're like, oh, well, they're going after the guy, and that's how it ends. She never kickboxed these fucking things. Like,
you were missing so much of this story.
what's that?
Nah, he got the
Okay.
gist.
Explain
No,
it to
no,
me.
not the gist at all. All right, so this lady, like, her mom was like telepathic or something.
When the fuck
had
did that
some-
happen?
Inherited because she killed her brother. Remember? She was like, I saw my mom. Oh, you shouldn't talk to her. She's like, I don't think my mom was in control of herself. She was being plagued by demons or whatever.
I don't.
So then the girl, she has like kinetic abilities. So like when these demons come at night from the night terrors and mess with her, she knows they're there because she has these special powers. Remember levitating the card
Yeah.
and making
She
herself
levitates
fly?
herself earlier, yeah, or
Yeah.
later.
So she's like, oh, because of my powers, I know they're there, so I'm gonna trick them. And then she does, and it pours acid on him or something. I forgot what she did.
Acid.
Because she was, yeah, because remember she was like, next step is a fucking landmine or something. Remember?
Yeah, she's
she
like, I
said
got a
there was balloons.
landmine.
And the guy was like, whoa, calm down.
Yeah.
But what it is like they try to get her, and whatever she uses works. And she's like, 1 month, haven't been visited. And then they both go to sleep, and then they're at the boyfriend's house now instead of hers. And it's like, oof. But yeah, they're 100% like demons or whatever.
I liked it
It was
better when
really
they were
good.
aliens.
Why are they at the fucking boyfriends? Because this bit,
He was
she
there.
can like levitate shit, but then for some reason now they're at the boyfriend's house. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, because he was there, and she became like a hard target, so they just went on to the easier target.
Yeah, but I thought they were there because she can like make shit fucking levitate and stuff, and but then
Well, they
for some
made
reason
her
they
do
go after
that.
him.
So why couldn't
Yeah.
they make him do that?
I think he will, but he hadn't like unlocked it yet. I think something with the roofies to where they even said it, didn't they? That they like change your mind or whatever. They like rewire it or whatever.
I don't know.
apparently, I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. This story isn't like Gone with the Wind or something. This isn't like masterful storytelling, but it was interesting. Like when she started moving shit with her mind and stuff, I was like, oh shit. So it was
Yeah.
still good. Like, but
I was just so mad I didn't get a kickboxing fight.
she kickboxes for like 3 seconds. in the whole
I know, but the guy even goes. He goes, "Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Bitch, I'm recording.
Hey, I'm in the middle
Oh.
of something."
I'm not gonna lie. The bitch looked hot as fuck when she was
Don't
kickboxing.
talk about my mom like that.
Yeah, I wasn't kidding. Jesus.
Yeah.
But she-
Anyway,
That girl was really attractive, like super cute.
why do you think the aliens went after her?
There's no alien.
They're aliens.
I mean, technically, I think demons could be considered aliens, but that's like a different conversation. But
I will say
So-
though, it does make it more sense how his body looked, because I was like, that's a weird looking alien. When you see like his lower half. when
so
he's
there's a
walking in.
demon in here that we're not talking about, and then there's these demons. The demon we're not talking about like 8 out of 10 scary demon guy, right? The demons that were visiting this lady, 4 out of 20, right? Like, I don't.
Okay.
They look like the Mummy or something.
Well,
Like,
all right. So, is there anything else we want to talk about before we go into like the one that's been throughout the whole movie?
well, that's the last one, right?
That's the last one. Yeah.
Just that shit demon, because that demon guy or alien, whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
that looked like the worst fucking Party City costume I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. We don't even. You see his face for like a second when he peeks his head in, right? But
Yeah.
then like the rest is when the camera falls over and you just see like his belly button.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do better, so maybe I shouldn't shit on it. But like,
Yeah.
you already at this point you've
Well,
already seen a demon that's much better,
Yeah.
and then you come over to this Scooby Doo bullshit, and you're like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, first off, we keep saying this. This movie had a budget of $65,000, so that's what it was working with in this one. It didn't. It was at like film festivals and stuff, and obviously now it's on like Prime and everything. But
Keep in mind, it came out 15 years after the big found footage craze. So
yeah,
this movie really.
yeah,
This
unique.
guy probably had this script laying around for a while.
Yeah, and he was like, I never remember that. And then one day he just found it in an old magazine, and he was like, "Holy shit!" But anyway, so
On to the main
the
story.
main story. Well, first off, there's the main story, and then there's another story that like begins and ends the movie, which starts off with a woman and a man sitting.
That's kind of the main story, but yeah.
Kind of, yeah, and they're just chilling out, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, "Hey, what the fuck? When that door open?" And then the woman's like, "Oh, there's a camera," and so he like picks up the camera, goes in the basement. There's a bed down there with the like, what is it, like Tesla
like a
coils
hospital
or
bed.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're like-
Yeah.
yeah.
And then my favorite part is just him being like, "Fucking Steve," and he's just shitting on Steve the whole time.
I gotta admit one thing though.
Okay.
That guy is the worst fucking phone actor I've ever seen in my life. I didn't believe for a second he was on the phone.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Is this blood?
Yeah, don't touch it. Look at this place. What's going on? Hold on, I'm gonna call him again.
What about that camera? The camera.
Steve, you need to. Hold on. Steve, you need to call me back right now. This place is a wreck. Call me back right now.
Like it's not hard. You've gotten phone calls, right, bud? Like
Yeah.
pretend fucking have someone call you. Or actually call
Yeah,
someone.
like talk to someone on the phone.
yeah, because he has like a normal like Apple,
Yeah.
iPhone or whatever, and he picks it up. He's like, "Hold on, let me
Yeah.
call him." And he's like, "Huh?" And then he doesn't turn it off. He just puts it in his pocket. I was like, "That's a voicemail."
Yeah.
But you're hearing everything now.
Yeah. So-
like, oh.
So anyway, so once they get down there, I don't think they even look at the tape. Or do they? Does the guy come over and like turn on the tape to see what was in the video camera, and that's when the tape starts, or does the tape just start?
The tape starts with the guy outside.
Well, yeah, but I was saying because then there's that part where he had sat the camera down and he like walks over to it, and I can't remember if he pressed like play on the tape or if the tape. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, it goes into the like baseline story that's going on, and it's a part that as I was watching it, I told Tyler about it, where they're talking about science, and it's like 10 minutes of the dude talking about science, and he's talking about like. Sort of reminded me of Insidious a little bit, where he was like, well, it's like when you're asleep, you're like in between realms and shit, and like the demons are. Am I getting that kind of right? Right?
It's sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, the dude's gonna go to sleep. And they're gonna fucking catch a demon, you know. And they catch a demon. And
Yeah, they do.
it's like there's some parts where it looks really cool. There's one part towards the end of the story that I was like, all right, well, where it's like sort of I don't know, it's sort of a demon-looking clown face. Not really a clown, but you know.
He has like a big grin.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
does.
Yeah, and so you know, he said my favorite part about this, by the way, is because then the demon like starts attacking him or whatever, and the girl like runs over to the door, and the dude's trying to open the door. This is a push door, okay? He's he's got his foot on the door, and he's pulling on the thing backwards, and he's like, "It won't fucking open." And I was like, "You idiot!" Yeah. And then the weird part is then the lady goes back for her phone and she becomes like super calm where she's just like, all right, I'm going to get my phone. Where's the demon? And like she turns around and she's like, It was just...
The crazy part is like it takes her like 5 minutes to get to that phone. And I'm like, this place wasn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. And yeah, so all hell breaks loose. The next time we go back to them, somehow the one dude, the main dude, was sleeping. They had seen him with like tentacles and shit down his throat.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah,
you're like, oh, that dude's dead. Now he's back all of a sudden, and the guy's like, I fucking saw you. You're dead, man. And like the dude just goes, I don't know what to tell you. I'm here. And, like,
well, we skipped the part where the demon talked to him.
You do not command me. I am no simple flesh-eating ghoul from your pathetic realm.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, he was like, let me go. He was like, I'm not afraid of any of you meat bags or whatever and all this stuff.
Well,
it was kind of cool.
He had the one, though, that was... he said something where he was like, I'm not your typical Earth, human-eating ghoul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man. Come on. But yeah, so now the dude's back, and he says that he's figured out, the reason they can't leave the door and everything. He goes...
more science bullshit.
Yeah.
They were saying like 1 second IRL is like 1,000.
1,000 seconds in like the dreamland.
In that
Like
time.
1,000
yeah.
to 10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So they'd have to stand there for like 24 hours
to
be able to be seen for like a second in real life. I was like, Jesus fuck.
Yeah, so they're stuck in this dream sort of frozen time with this demon that's in this dark room and they can't fucking see him. And so the dude is like, we can turn on this fucking portal and we can get, or the Tesla coils and shit, and we can get it to where we can go back to real life or whatever. Let me scroll down on my notes real fast. Anyway, the part I was talking about is because then they're setting up their whole scheme or whatever. And their scheme. First off, the dude, like, the one guy's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. And he goes running, the guy's like, no, wait, don't go over there. And, like, he gets caught in, like, between the portals. He's like, ah! And, like, his lower half just disappears because then it goes into the other realm. So that dude's fucking dead.
He doesn't try to escape. He goes for that stupid camera that he was talking all this shit
about.
Yeah,
that could film and all the
He's
slow
like,
motion.
my beta, blah, blah, blah. And he goes running out to get this stupid-ass camera.
Yeah. And so he's fucking dead. So then the girl, she's like, or the demon comes and is coming at the guy. He picks up the tripod, points at the demon. This is the part that I said the demon, I was like, what's going on? Where he's like, got this tripod. This is a demon that's like been just messing them up. And this demon goes, and just like
he backs the demon into a corner with a fucking tripod.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
And like him and this demon have this fucking dance. And
The standoff, yeah.
This whole time he's yelling at the girl, and the demon eventually like knocks the thing out of the way and grabs him. And he's like, turn on the fucking portal. And she's like, oh, you'll die. And he's like, come on, I'm dead already. We all know this. So she turns on the portal. Big zap. The demon and the guy are gone.
Yeah, dude tackles the fucking demon.
Yeah. The door is open. and you're like, all right, cool, homegirl made it out. She goes out the door. Wouldn't you know it, the guy and the girl from the beginning of this whole thing are standing there, and they ain't fucking moving. And the dude's on his phone, and he's got a cigarette. And so now we know how the door opened, and she places down the camera, and we know how the... Which also places down the camera, and then she's like, ah, ah. She goes running off looking for help. And then the movie ends with them being like, hey, how'd this door open? And it all comes full circle.
Yeah, fucking retarded.
So,
The wrong way, right?
but the wrong way, yes.
Yeah, it comes full circle, but backwards.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But anyway, yeah, I didn't think that story was too bad. Like I said, there was a couple points that were, I was like, come on, demon guy. You know?
That had like a jump scare too. Remember the first time you saw the demon? It got me.
Yeah. There was that part where he was in the corner of the ceiling.
Yeah.
Where he looked kind of goofy. I was like, oh.
Looked like he was a fucking spirit Halloween store
Yeah.
decoration.
Yeah.
But like I said, they made this movie. It was kind of long, I want to say. I don't know.
It was like a decent
2
hour 35 or something. Like, it
And,
was a full-length movie.
Yeah, I think it was an hour 20 or something.
$65,000.
Yeah.
And most of that budget was probably spent, getting the places to shoot? Like
Yeah.
renting that
Places
house,
to shoot. Cameras. Some of the effects were pretty good. Some of them, obviously, they were like running out of money.
Yeah.
But, some of them were alright.
So all these actors probably worked for free,
Also-
right? Just to get their name in the thing.
Also, I am going to bump my score up to a 3 just because I realized that base story isn't actually that bad. So, there you go. A 3 for this one.
I thought it was like now. Don't get me wrong. You'll never watch this again,
Nope.
ever. Like you will probably tell your friends not to watch it
I want to forget this movie.
because, like, don't get me wrong. The cam girl one it just doesn't belong. And then the last one takes way too long to get to the fucking point.
Yeah.
The first one's great.
First one's solid.
So you got like the main story in the first one, and then like you see a bit of the main story, and you're like, "They're setting something up."
Uh-huh.
And then you get that first story, and you're like, "Yeah, it's pretty fucking good." And then it goes back to the other one, and you know they start doing the science stuff. You're like, "All right," and then it just plummets. Right?
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
falls off.
There were a couple points where, looking back, I think like it looked like there was a lot of points where people just had to talk for a very long time, and it's like the guy just needed to fill up to get to like a full length. So maybe it would have been better if he would have just went with like a shortened like hour 15, hour 10. But
I think he should have just filmed 30-minute episodes and done 5 of them versus
yeah.
Because the only reason he split it up like that is just so he could have the story come back around at the end, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the all that other shit could have been its own story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just like, oof.
Yeah, but
So I went online.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot the guy's name, but I typed it in to like look up his IMDb.
Yeah.
And he's made like 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
He's written like.
Was this his first one, or was this like the newest one?
I think I
you
can't remember.
Oh.
But then, like he didn't have a Wikipedia or nothing.
Uh-huh.
I was like, that's weird. But then it showed me that he was on Facebook, and I clicked it, and it's not private or nothing. So I'm looking at this guy's life, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Hey, get him to come on the show.
Yeah, I felt like I was stalking, but I'm gonna get you to hashtag him when we release this and see what he says. Maybe he can give some tips or some insight or something. So, but yeah, like he seems very approachable. Like all these actors and actresses, they're not famous yet or nothing. You know, this came out 3 years ago. One girl was in another thing, but but I don't know. I feel like the guy's image, or what he imagined, what he wanted to take place, got captured like a little. But I'm sure, like the funding just wasn't there, right? To where he's like, listen, we need, more demons here. And they're like, well, we can't really afford demons.
Yeah.
Well, we just put these dudes in burlap coats. He's like, they look like aliens. He's like, no, they're demons. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the story writing, because the same guy who directed it, wrote it, and everything, he did it. He did it all like by himself. And you got to ask yourself, if he wrote it and it was like a really good script, maybe he could have went with a better director if he had more money.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, someone could have came in and edited it, because like you said, a lot of the dialogue and stuff is just like weird.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, why are they still talking? I'm like, why? Like, there's a point where the cameraman asks the undergrad student if she's dating the professor for no reason.
Yeah.
It's like, so you and this professor guy, you an item?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what?
She was like, I don't like the implication.
Yeah,
I was like,
and
what
I
are you
was like-
talking about?
And there's another, like, when she's like, thanks for, taping this for us. And he was like, no problem, no problem. You just tell me where to point the cameras, and I get exclusive rights to everything. And
Yeah.
he starts going in this, like, diabolical scheme or whatever. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I was like, why is this part of the movie?
I don't know.
Like, is this dude doing a sequel with just him?
Yeah.
The story of Steven. So, I don't know. Like I said, it had potential.
Yeah, like I said, first story, solid fucking story. The rest of the movie kind of bombed on me.
So let me ask you a question. You gave this 3.
I did. I bumped it up.
What did you give Rob Zombie's second Halloween?
Second Halloween, I gave that a 2.
So
I would rather watch this movie than
Really? The thing is,
I don't know.
like,
I might watch Halloween too.
Those big blockbuster films, you could watch them again because it's like a spectacle, right? Like,
yeah,
everything's done really well, polished, and everything else. You watch something like this, and you're like, this is like a student film almost.
Yeah.
So where I give it more respect than I do the other film that has a cast of 400.
Yeah. Well, spoiler. There's an overtime coming out Monday for 3 from Hell. And I'm going to give you my score for 3 from Hell. And I think 3 from Hell is a worse movie than this. But at the same time, I would watch 3 from Hell before I watch this again. And I think that's what you're saying, is because that just it's more of a spectacle. There's more to see, even though it's a worse fucking movie.
Yeah.
But
it's one of those things where you watch something like this, and you may have given it a 3, Mav gave it a 2, I think I gave it a 6.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the grading shouldn't be the same, right? Like, you're pitting, like, a fucking Kia Sorento or whatever. What's Maverick's car? You're pitting, like, a Galant against a Rolls Royce, right? Price-wise, because this film was $65,000. 3 from Hell, I'm going to guess, was $30 million.
No.
I don't know how much it was.
Yeah,
but
I'll tell you.
well, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what was the last movie review that was a big budget? What was Triangle?
Triangle had like, it was like 4 or 5 million, something like that.
So, are you telling me Triangle's? I can't even do the math. 300% better than this movie? Like, it can't be. So,
I don't know. I did like Triangle better. What?
I'm just thinking because like I wouldn't watch either one of them again.
Yeah.
And if they came on and someone's like, "Oh, I haven't seen that," I'm like, "Don't worry," and I'd click. I would change it.
Click off.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, Futurama," but I don't know. I think, like I said, these I'm gonna call it a starter movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Blair Witch. We haven't watched that yet, but
no.
I think Blair Witch was shot in like a $30,000 budget.
Yeah, it was like the cheapest movie for a long time. Well, the cheapest, most profitable. Anyway, well.
Maverick, you watch those bullshit shows on CW that are like superhero shows, right?
I watched Supernatural. That's it.
You watched Flash and Green Arrow.
I didn't watch Green Arrow. I haven't watched Flash in a fucking hot minute.
Okay, well, take Flash.
Didn't that dude
from
get
CW.
fired for being racist or something?
Oh.
The Flash.
I think so. Yeah, he came out with some really crazy
like they had to
tweets.
replace him.
What?
Yeah.
But regardless,
yeah.
Would you put Flash from the CW up against fucking Justice League, the movie, like you couldn't, right? Because one has like $100,000 budget, and the other one is literally $50 million, right? To make. Like you can't. I mean, they're one's a show, one's a movie, but I think you have to like have a different grading scale for like more independent like films. So I don't know.
Anyway.
Because I guess Train to Busan was considered independent, right?
Kinda, I think.
Right? It was like the first zombie film the studio had ever did and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But that's like gold on every level, right? It was a great movie. It was a great, entry. So, I don't know.
Closest I've come to crying yet on the podcast. Well, not on the podcast, but like watching the movie. When the fucking dad jumps off the train at the end, I was like, ah.
Well, if I just spoiled Train to Busan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, spoiler.
Yeah. That's what you get for sitting this long through the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Spoil random movies.
Anyway.
You fucking idiot.
I don't know, 28 days later, it made me cry every time.
Yeah.
So. It wasn't... Side note, it wasn't Grant Gustin who said something. It was the co-star who said something. The Flash co-star Hartley Sawyer, who was fired from the CW, had offensive tweets.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, fuck y'all.
Right.
Y'all suck fat cock.
You just said you're not even a fan. You barely watched it.
Talk shit about Flash again, I'll come to your house.
I think that guy who plays... No, it's the guy who plays Green Arrow who was a Ninja Turtle, right?
Stephen Amell?
I don't know.
That's his name.
I don't watch that CW bullshit.
I don't either. I don't know. Anyways. Alright, thanks.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Before we stop this.
Well, yeah.
Maverick, did you watch the last episode of Supernatural?
Yeah.
Did you cry?
Did it do good? Did it finish it up well?
Yeah, if it definitely cleared everything up. I was gonna ask you to ask Homeboy what he thought about it.
You got to be specific, man. I don't know anyone who watches that shit but you.
Well, no,
Pygon?
No, dude we used to play with.
Drainus?
Yeah.
You can message.
Yeah. Sure, he's part of your friend.
Yeah.
But
I don't have him
I'll
on
hit him up.
fucking thing. I don't have Drainus on.
I do.
I don't think he ever added me.
He's not Drainus, he's Gravos.
He's Gravos, yeah.
But... Yeah, I don't have him on. I don't know why.
He fucking removed you. Like a wreck.
Yeah, what did I do? Like, I don't remember doing
everyone we play games with fucking hates you. I don't know why.
Apparently, I'm just a shitty person, I guess.
No, we know that. Like,
why are y'all friends with me? I'm fucking leaving.
Alright. Well, before you leave... Hey,
he didn't try to stop you. He was like, okay. He was like, all right.
Yeah.
See, have a good one.
It's
Maverick, I appreciate your commentary. You're a great bud. Please don't leave.
This motherfucker flying. Solid. Hey Maverick, what you picking for next week? It's your pick.
Oh.
Give us a nice ripe little gem.
We're watching Zombievers.
Is that really the pick? Yo,
no, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
That's the movie.
How the fuck?
So remember I said the lady who was in that was in another movie?
Uh-huh.
That's the movie. The lady from the Dark Tapes. She's in that movie.
Fuck. Yo, fucking Zombievers.
That looked really bad. You said it, and I was like, no, let's...
There's nothing you can do to stop me.
At first, I was like, oh, a zombie movie. And I was like, wait, no, he said Zombievers. I was like, oh, shit.
Hey, fucking, how is it my pick again, dude? And I picked...
We go through these fast, dude.
What was the last one I picked that I wasn't there for?
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah.
And then...
Really?
And then we watched...
I must have missed like 2 casts. I missed that one.
Yeah.
And then you picked this one, right?
Yeah. I picked...
There was
so
one
with me,
Triangle.
I picked Triangle, then it went the
Hills Have Eyes.
I don't think it's my pick.
No, it is your pick.
It went
Because Tyler just picked.
10,000, right?
Let me see.
And then I picked. No, because I picked before him. So it went House of a Thousand Corpses, then it went Triangle, then it went Hills Have Eyes, and now it's your turn.
Did we
Because
skip Bags?
We watched Devil's Reject.
No,
as
Bags
overtime.
picked Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have
That was
Eyes.
the last episode.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, so you picked. Yeah, so I picked Triangle. Bags picked Hills Have Eyes. Tyler picked this one, so now it's your pick.
And we had those 2 overtimes, so that's why it's kind of.
Yeah, I looked. I was like, how are these overtimes coming here? But anyway,
It could be 2 to be announced. We can fit
I
in.
don't know. I kind of want to watch Zombie. But
Did you watch that whole trailer?
I didn't even watch the trailer. I just saw you
Oh.
linked it to me, and I was
Matt,
like,
did you
oh
watch the
man.
trailer?
No, I did not. No.
Oh, boys. I mean, you can pick it if you want. It's a good. It's really bad. I figured we'd do it as an overtime this week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Peninsula movie's out. I mean, we can always watch that.
It got the worst reviews of all time.
Yeah, I watched half of it and I had to stop. So.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's no rush.
All right. Well,
you can look at it for a second. Not for a second. For
yeah. Well, hey.
a little bit.
Next week to be determined, or it could be fucking Zombie.
It came out 2020, literally like a month ago.
So, if you haven't watched that, we're gonna ruin it for you. So go watch it. All right, next week, come play. But anyway, all right. Well, thanks for listening to the Dark Tapes podcast. It was something. So, anyway, next week, whatever Maverick picks. Monday, look forward to we finish out the Firefly trilogy with 3 from Hell. And then we're done with the Fireflies. Obviously, there's still like Salem or whatever.
Hey, yeah,
and all
Maverick,
that
there's
shit.
that Salem movie, but that's going to be a lot of Rob Zombie at once.
That's a lot of Rob Zombie.
Yeah, he doesn't have any. Yeah, that Salem. I was gonna say that Salem one, but I didn't like the trailer. It looks stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
I haven't either. I know the poster, but anyway. All right, so that's what's coming up next week. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. You got any final words, anybody? Before we get out of here?
I do, but I'll wait to see if Maverick has one first.
Okay.
This movie sucked fat cock.
All
Don't
right.
watch it. Would not recommend.
Well, thanks, Maverick.
All right, I was going to say, give those independent films.
Two very different.
Don't.
There's
Not
gems
this
out
one.
there. Like, if you watch an independent movie that, like, someone's actually put a lot of work into, and you enjoy it for even, 10, 15 minutes, then, fucking, you got to think that if they had a bigger budget, they would be able to, expand on that a lot more. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, what's that thing that you have, the horror?
Shudder.
Yeah, get Shudder and just watch a random movie every week. Whatever just looks cool. It's probably going to be bad, but you might come away with some great shit.
Got to get through the bad to find the
really bad.
The really bad, yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you Monday for 3 from Hell. All right.